Hey, what's up guys? VB the Great here, back with another video. Bit of a special video today. As you can see, this is my first video with like an actual voiceover. I realized that having like a bunch of text on screen was not really very efficient for a video, and it's also not very fun to read. There's still gonna be text though, because viewer convenience and whatnot, so enjoy. Today we have another tutorial video. And of course, it is my main man Mortis. Like, I've encountered way too many noob Mortis while playing Brawl and also some really good Mortis. And not to brag, but I am a pretty good Mortis, if I do say so myself. And so the point of today's video is to help you belong to the latter category. Now the first thing I'd normally tell someone if they wanted to push Mortis in Brawl would be can you isn't, because Mortis takes a lot of skill to just play in general, and even more so in Brawl. But for you stubborn lot, here's a how-to on playing Mortis in Brawl. Tip 1. Gameplay style. Now, when playing Mortis in Brawl there's a few gameplay styles you can choose from. See my types of Mortis video for further details. But all the good ones have a common element, and that is to be aggressive. What you want to do is choose a matchup, line yourself up and just get in their face so as to push them back and keep control. For example, here I matched up with a B, whom I can easily counter. I pushed up on the left lane so that she would not be able to advance and she is forced to retreat. Their team is now in a huge positional disadvantage, and so we easily score. This aggressive style to play Mortis is highly recommended by most players. Tip 2. Positioning. Notice how in that first play I did barely anything except move towards the enemy. This is just one example to show you just how important positioning is while playing Mortis. Use walls, bushes, and sometimes even your own teammates as cover to push up and gain a positional advantage over your enemies. Sometimes all you have to do is camp one location for an entire game, prevent your opponents from pushing up, and this can still result in a victory. Tip 3. Matchups. Many players underestimate the importance of matchups and how much a game is affected by which brawlers you match up against. It is very important that you match up against a brawler whom Mortis can be played, if not well, at least decently against. Here my obvious matchup is the Ems, but I accidentally switched up the lanes. Times like this, just switch with your teammate or dash over to the correct lane. Also keep in mind your teammates' matchups and matchups such that all of you can work well and no one is hard countered. Sometimes you will have to sacrifice a very good matchup for a decent one so that your teammates can work well too. Tip 4. Star power. Always use Coiled Snake. To use Creepy Harvest you need to be a really good Mortis, especially because it is one of the worst star powers in the game right now. If you only have Creepy Harvest or for some reason have to play it, I'd suggest waiting for Triple Dribble or Center Field because they have more walls, thus making it easier to close the distance to your opponent. Tip 5. To aim or to auto-aim. Pretty obvious answer. Always prefer to aim your shots. Auto-aim is fine if you are against a single opponent and don't mind where you end up positioning yourself, because Mortis is the only brawler in the game who moves to attack and his attacks actually affect his positioning and where he ends up after using 3 dashes. But in the majority of situations you want to be aiming your shots so that you can hit multiple opponents and also decide where you position yourself after dashing. Tip 6. When should you go for the ball? Go for the ball in the following situations. Situation 1. The defense is lacking and you can easily score. Here, the opponent's defenders charged at us, so I knew that the Mortis would not be able to defend against me alone. Situation 2. You/or your teammates get a team wipe or there is only one brawler on defense. keep in mind that said brawler should be bad at defense and slash or have low DPS. Situation 3, you have very good teammates and they clear you a path to the goal by either team wiping 2v3 or opening up the goal for an easy score. Note, this situation is a rare occurrence with randoms. Tip 7, Team Wipes. To be a good Mortis, you should be able to assess the damage you would be able to deal to and how much you would be able to heal from an enemy team before they take you out. Mortis can deal a ton of damage to multiple brawlers with his main attacks, super, and gadget as long as he can get them all off in time to get the kills. When going in for a team wipe, you can either use your super first and then dash in, or dash in and use your super after one attack, as using it too late will result in you getting taken out. Sub-tip, use your super first and then your gadget. This ensures that you can stay alive long enough to get value from the gadget damage. Tip 8, Goal Scoring. First of all, while important, scoring goals is not the most important thing in Brawl Ball. Being able to create favorable situations to score is more important. Now, when goal scoring, here are some things to keep in mind. 1. Shooting for the corners of the goal usually provides the most value. For example, here I shot straight at the goal and the max saved it. Thankfully I still managed to score. This does not mean that you should aim only for the corners. In every situation first assess your opponent's position, direction of movement and inertia, reflexes, and supers and or gadgets that may help them before you shoot. In fact, most of the time it is best to just walk the ball into the goal. Two, coordinate with your teammates and position yourself accordingly. Reading your teammates and playing accordingly is important. This is why it is better to play with an organized team rather than randoms. Here, I saw my mic teammate use his super on the left side of the opponent's wall, so I preemptively aimed and shot just as the walls broke. 3. Movement while shooting. Brawler movement affects how the ball moves after being shot. After you release the shot, there is a short period of time where you are still moving before the is released. This means that the ball does not go exactly where you aimed. Since it doesn't cause a huge effect, it is not usually noticed much, but this is very important to keep in mind. This could affect the path of the shot a lot and decide whether or not the shot goes in. Trickshots. Probably the most fun thing to do with Mortis, and half the reason people play Mortis in Brawl Ball is his ability to handle the ball like no other brawler in the game. The thing is, however, trickshots take an insane amount of skill to pull off and are really hard to do unless played very carefully. Personally, I suck at trickshots and just go for a team wipe and a straight shot about 90% of the time. And for that reason, this gameplay took me ages to record, lol. So don't sue me if they are not as fancy as the kinds done by like Pizza or Molly or Wide. PS watch till the end for bloopers. Look for angles from where you can take a shot and work to get it off before getting taken out. Every map has multiple ways to trick shots, and even more as the match progresses due to the walls breaking down. Watch like Pizza Brawl Stars, Molly Brawl Stars or Wide, links in the description, for more and better ways to trick shot. Keep in mind, however, that scoring the goal is far more important than looking fancy while doing it. I'd recommend going for trick shots when you don't have a straight line to the goal and really need a goal. 5. Dribbling. Dribbling basically means to pass the ball up and then dash up after it to gain a positional advantage for a goal. Now there's two ways you can do this. One way is to pass the ball up, wait for a fraction of a second and dash up twice after it. This provides for a longer and farther reaching dash but takes up 3 ammo to execute. The other is to pass the ball up and immediately dash up after it. This provides for a shorter dash but uses up only 2 ammo slots and is the one you are usually going to be using, since you can then use the third ammo slot to shoot. You can also dribble sideways or diagonally, but this is a little harder to do. Now, dribbling with Mortis takes a little practice to master, so first practice it in friendly games before trying it in game. Here's a trick I learned that can help you score when multiple brawlers are defending against you. I learned this from one of Wide's videos. So here's what you want to do. Go towards one side of the enemy goal and pass the ball up and dash after it. Now hug the wall and walk towards the goal. You can shoot through your opponents if they attempt to body block the goal. Tip 9. Stopping goals. Mortis sucks on defense, so try to get a teammate who can defend well, like Shelly or Ems or Spike, based on the map and the meta. When an opponent is walking towards you with the ball, there are two defensive plays you can make. One would be to quickly dash up and dash back so you can draw a goal attempt and then dash back to stop it. This is better used when the opponent is close to your goal. Another thing you could do is walk up to the brawler and then dash back. This is better used when the opponent is farther away from your goal. Be very careful while doing this, as sometimes the opponent may pass to you and if you try to dash back you will end up self-scoring. This has happened to me many times, but I've become better over time. I don't have any footage, but if you do this right, it should result in you having stopped the goal and grabbed the ball. Tip 10. Intercepting passes. This segment is about one of the highest skill cap plays to pull off with Mortis. Intercepting a pass which one of your opponents make is a highly useful skill. It can help you stop your opponent's offensive push, convert it into a turnover and maybe even lead to a goal for your team. You have to be extremely good at predicting your opponent's move, and timing your dash is key. Dashing in too late or too early will alert the opponent to your plan and they will easily prevent it. Think like your opponent and try to think of what they would do next, and adapt accordingly. For example, here I knew that the Mortis would try to dribble up and I intercepted it. Here is another example. Here, the Nita had no good play other than to pass to her teammate. Predicting this, I intercepted the pass and scored. And here's one random tip for a Mortis 1v1 matchup. When trying to escape from a Mortis chasing you, you can actually time your dash such that your opponent takes damage but you do not. Your timing, however, needs to be impeccable. That's all the tips for today's video, guys. Enjoy the gameplay. Why are you still watching? Oh right, the bloopers. Can't leave without watching me mess up, eh? Well, here you go.
Nope.
Wait, let's watch that again.
Bruh. LOL. LOL.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I'm legally blind.
LOL. Nope. Bruh. Nope. Bruh.